First and foremost, hats off to Georgia. They're a good team. I wish them luck in the SEC this year, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it, guys. I'm extremely disappointed in the way we finished that game, that fourth quarter. That's not who we are, and that's not who we're going to be. We've made strides, and we work extremely hard to be better and to compete and to fight. And it's not the fact that we lost the game, it's how we lost the game. And we talked about, the second half. I thought Coach Corey did an unbelievable job with the scout. I felt like the young ladies were extremely prepared. They knew everything that Georgia was going to do, and they didn't do anything different than what we talked about. But it comes down to being able to execute the game plan. And I thought we did that for about 20, 25 minutes. But it's a repeat of Sunday. It's a repeat of the Virginia game when we jump out on somebody and we execute and do everything we're supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, all of that goes out of the window. And it's just the fact that we didn't compete. And we look like we quit there in that fourth quarter. And that's something that is just not acceptable in this program, and it won't be acceptable.
Coach, kind of extension of that, I guess it seemed like for especially the middle quarters, and you were kind of one run away. If you got on a 6-7-0 run, it was kind of in that range. Is that kind of the way you felt? Maybe you just couldn't get over that hump a little bit, I guess?
I do. And, that's where we talked about in the locker room where we've got our continuity offensively has got to get better, learning how to play with each other, understanding where people want their shots. And, this is the second game now that we've had about 5 or less assists, and that's not good. And I felt, we would get close and then we'd come down and do something silly on offense, which would lead to transition for them. And they're a very good transition team. And I thought the first half we did a really good job of keeping them out of transition. I think we limited them to about 7 or 8 points in transition, which is really good. And then we end the game giving up about 18. And a lot of those were off of our turnovers. Those turnovers at the top of the key. And we've said all week, when you turn that ball over at the top of the key, there is no defense for that. So that comes down to us being able to execute our offense, doing the little things. We knew that they were extremely aggressive in the passing lane. So we talked about stepping over and holding off. And if you want to win a game like that against a really good SEC team, you've got to be able to execute the little things down the stretch.
When you look at it, the preseason, you talked about playing this schedule and you wanted to play teams like this. I mean, is that a takeaway? I know in the immediate kind of moment, but can you take things positive, negative, whatever, learn from this time of game either way?
You can. I mean, we hold them to 8 points in the second quarter. So that's 2 games in a row that we've held, a Power 5 team to single digits in a quarter. Like I said, I thought for 25 minutes we executed the game plan really well. But that's our growth. Our growth is now to be able to sustain that for 40 minutes. A game is 2 halves. It's not 20 minutes at halftime, the game is over. You got to come out. Each team's going to make adjustments. And we've got to learn how to come out, in the second half and give that same type of effort. But, it starts in practice. And we haven't been able to complete a good practice where we bring in the energy and we're executing. And that's where it starts. It starts being able to execute and do all those things in practice and be able to sustain it.
When you look at offense, and obviously LaShonda was back today, in her first game, how much did that maybe change the dynamic or did it all or no? And I'm sure you're obviously hoping you get a boost from her, now that she is healthy.
No, Monk missed, a week and a half, but she's been practicing with us and been a part of this program for 4 years now. So, definitely didn't change the dynamic. Obviously it helps us with having another threat offensively on the floor, but, we've got to play within ourselves. Everybody understands and should know their role because we've talked about it so many times. And I thought tonight some people tried to play outside of their role and do things that they're not accustomed of doing. And so we got to learn to play within our role. We've got to learn to do all the little things that we talk about offensively. The game plan was to, if we turn them over and we get steals, yes, let's push. But in the half court, we wanted to execute and take good shots because bad shots leads to transition offense for them. And we wanted to keep them out of transition. And I thought we had too many possessions where we just tried to go one-on-one or somebody forgot to do something in the play and it broke down and we had to go one-on-one. And that has to be our growth offensively.
Anything else for Coach?
I'm good if y'all are. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Lashonda, can you just talk about what it was like to kind of, like Coach said, you've been practicing, but get out there in a game, and how did you feel physically, mentally, that type of thing?
I think it was a challenge for me to just try to get back in game mode. I have been practicing, but, it's nothing like an actual game. So just, I still got to work on getting back in that game shape. And mentally, it's still a challenge. I'm glad to be back, helping my teammates out.
Kind of same question I asked Coach. Did you feel like it seemed like y'all are just maybe a couple threes away, or you kind of put a run together and try and get out the lead a little bit? Is that part of playing a tough team, or y'all just maybe couldn't string together baskets, or what do you think maybe on the offensive end was tough today?
Yeah, I think, like Coach said, we were a couple runs away. I just think that we couldn't put it together offensively. We couldn't execute our plays, really. They were blowing it up a lot. And like Coach said, it forced us, take bad shots, go one-on-one. And that's kind of what we didn't want. We knew that they would be aggressive and in the passing lanes and stuff, but we just kind of couldn't find a way to execute offensively.